Did you know that Airbnb and Northwest Arkansas have teamed up to recognize that Northwest Arkansas is a great, fantastic destination place for remote workers? You heard that right. So, let's talk about that. Hey everybody, if you don't know who I am, my name is Phillip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. I actually was a real estate broker in Chicago for over a decade in the dumpster fire state known as Illinois with an S. And I could have chosen to move anywhere I wanted to in America, but I chose right here in Northwest Arkansas for so many different reasons. It is by far the best place to live in America, by far. So call me, email me, text me, let me know when you're coming to the area to check out the whole area. We can talk about all the reasons why I chose Northwest Arkansas versus anywhere else in America. And if you haven't been down to Northwest Arkansas quite yet, I made something called the NWA Starter Pack. Sounds exactly what it is. Literally a starter pack full of all the cool things Northwest Arkansas. What's going on downtown Bentonville? What's going on in Fayetteville? What are the schools like? What are the hospitals like? All the things you need to know about Northwest Arkansas. Boop, 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 boop. Package, ship right to your home. Right to your home. Literally goes right to your home. Enter your name below. Enter your address below. Where am I shipping this package to? Let me know in all the information below. I'll make sure to get the package shipped to you right away. Also, side note, it does come with your first free mountain bike, so that's pretty cool. And I know what you're thinking. It is my favorite four-letter F word. Free! So enter your information below. I'll make sure they get the package shipped to you right away. All right, so yes, Airbnb, the big Airbnb company, has recognized Northwest Arkansas as a destination place. Their words, not mine. Destination place for remote workers. Now we're going to run through some of the reasons why I think that they chose this place versus other places, and why if you are a remote worker or you're thinking about relocating here for a longer period of time, whether it's years or kind of like the rest of your life, we're going to run through some of those reasons why it became a destination place for Airbnb. And the first reason we need to talk about why Airbnb chose Northwest Arkansas as a destination place, and a lot of these are going to lean more towards the Airbnb model. It's going to definitely help them more. And the reason is because that Northwest Arkansas is kind of an all year round destination place. Now you could argue like Boulder or Golden or Colorado or parts of like the North ski area are that way too. But the thing about it is that a lot of those Airbnbs you can't necessarily get in those ski lodges. They've kind of wrapped those up pretty tight up there for obvious reasons. They own the mountains. So Airbnb can't really get up there too well. They can sometimes rent out houses, but there's just not a lot out there. So when it comes to just like general Airbnb all year long stuff, you're gonna have things like Florida, you're gonna have things like the South, you're gonna have things like Texas to some extent. But Northwest Arkansas fits the bill so well because there's so much to do outdoors, which we'll talk about in a second. And then secondly is the fact that it's all year round. So whether you're gonna come in like December time or even like February to some extent, that might be like a little bit of a like kind of cold time, or even January. But really all year long is going to be a fine time to come to Northwest Arkansas because of so many things to do outdoors, and it's really a destination place. And so Airbnb wants to pick those places because it just helps them more as a business versus sending them up to, who wants to go to Minnesota in the dead of winter? Nobody. That's who. Who wants to go to Chicago? Well, people want to go to, well, if you want to go to Chicago dead of winter, you're crazy. I've been there. Don't do it. No. And the second reason why Airbnb is partnered with Northwest Arkansas to recognize it as a destination place for Airbnbs, and that's because of its thriving economy here. And so obviously if you've watched any of my videos, you're fully aware that Northwest Arkansas is thriving, and not only surviving, but thriving even in this kind of tough economy. That you see all these other spots across America dip pretty hard, and Northwest Arkansas just keeps chugging ahead, little by little by little by little by little. And so that is a fascinating thing with the economy here, is because obviously we have three of the biggest companies in the world that exist here. A lot of mid-sized companies exist here as well. So Northwest Arkansas is prime and ready for economy. We always have not only have a balanced budget in the state of Arkansas, but we have a surplus of budget. Usually it's a couple $100 million of surplus every single year. But long story short, so many businesses are moving here, and when you have so many things happening in the area, it makes it a great time for Airbnb to recognize it, because they're like, yeah, if you want to go to a place that you can do remote work, definitely check out Northwest Arkansas because of its thriving economy, good restaurants, fun things to do, etc. Airbnb isn't going to like whimsy-nimsy kind of like throw out recommendations. They're going to pick specific locations, and the economy is a big part of it, and a big part of Northwest Arkansas is its thriving economy. But before I jump on to the next point, I have something brand new called Instant Home Updates. So maybe you're looking to move to the area and using things like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or Redfin. Way too slow. Notifications? Way too slow. That's why I made something called Instant Home Updates. Sounds exactly what it is, literally Instant Home Updates. So enter your name below, enter your email below, square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, Where do you want to move to Northwest Arkansas? Where do you want to end up when you end up moving here? So let me know with all the information below. I'll make sure you don't miss a single notification when it comes for homes for sale or for rent, all in Northwest Arkansas. Also, side note, every single Friday I send an email out just kind of talk about all the cool things Northwest Arkansas. What's going on downtown Bentonville? What's going on in Fayetteville? When is First Thursdays? When is First Fridays? What's going on in the amphitheater? What new businesses are moving here? What's going on over at Pinnacle? So much going on all the time. Enter your name below, enter your email below. I'll make sure you get that email every single Friday, just kind of keeping you up to date with all the cool things happening in the area. But, sadly, you will get a little fear of missing out, little FOMO, so to speak. But I promise you will be the most informed person eventually when you make your way down to Northwest Arkansas. And the third reason why Airbnb chose Northwest Arkansas as a destination place for remote workers, and this is a little bit more obvious, but the community here is top tier. Top tier. If they're going to make a recommendation for remote workers to go somewhere, and the community is kind of like, let's say, annoying or stupid or mean or whatever, that is not Northwest Arkansas. So that is a fascinating thing, is when you move here, and you'll probably recognize this too eventually when you make your way here, because I know you will. But eventually when you make your way here, you'll notice that people are incredibly friendly here. And the second part of all that is that a lot of people are kind of like transplants here. And so when you have a transplant area, we're all trying to get together. We're trying to make new communities. We're trying to do fun things together because we're trying to make our space right here in Northwest Arkansas. So when a remote worker comes here, they are going to fit right in because like, hey, welcome to the joint, welcome to the place, welcome to the thing. So you get that all the time here in Northwest Arkansas because it really is transplant friendly, and it's just overall a friendly community in general. And the fourth reason why Airbnb chose Northwest Arkansas as kind of a destination place for remote workers. Now this is kind of a little bit counterintuitive, but work with me here. There's amazing job opportunities here in Northwest Arkansas. And I don't think I need to tell you that because I'm sure you're fully aware. Obviously, there are better opportunities than others, meaning like if you're in tech or if you're in any sort of like construction field, if you're in medical, if you're in certain pockets of things, education, you're going to do just fine here. So when remote workers come here, sometimes it's in tech, sometimes it's in other areas of things. But one thing with job opportunities, if that you decide not to be a remote worker anymore, you decide to live here permanently and get a job here, plenty of jobs abound here in Northwest Arkansas. And so this kind of a little bit of a deviation from Airbnb's thinking, but obviously part of Airbnb's thinking is like, hey, if we're going to send someone somewhere, we want to make sure it's like, you know, a good opportunity for them. And so for them to recommend that, it just kind of makes sense. And so if you are coming here, just know lots of jobs are needed to be filled, and that could be you, even if you're a remote worker, you never know. And the fifth and final reason why Airbnb chose Northwest Arkansas as a great destination place for remote workers. Now, again, work with me here, but we're going to take a little bit of backward logic here. Airbnb wants Airbnbs. We're aware of that. That's literally the business model. That's the name of the business. We get that. So one of the things that is important for them are for investors or people that want to buy investment property to buy in areas where there's good Airbnbs. You're starting to see the logic here. So not only is this article written for remote workers, but it's also written for people that want to invest into property. And so one of the things that's interesting here is the success rate of Airbnbs in the area. So there are some saturated areas, like Bella Vista is a little bit more saturated than it should be. But if you're in Centerton or Bentonville or even parts of Pea Ridge or Fayetteville, when it comes to Airbnbs, you will do just fine. We have so many sports teams that come through here, obviously, when it comes to the Razorback and the whole sports system here. And on top of that, we have Bentonville, which is just so many people come to the area because of the mountain biking trails, the outdoor escapes, the whole kit and caboodle when it comes to that. There's a lot in Bella Vista as well, but Bella Vista has a lot of Airbnbs because homes were, they sold for kind of cheaper there back like 2 years ago. And so there's a lot more Airbnbs there. But regardless, Airbnb is not going to recommend a place for investors, because that's kind of who they're talking to here as well, that you should buy an Airbnb or buy a rental property or buy a investment property. They're not going to recommend that unless there's good returns, good expectations, and they're seeing the data right there because they own all the data. So that is part of the recommendation as well to investors, and say, hey, investors, we're going to recommend this for remote workers. Wink. So I will give you the data. I will pass it on to you. Do with it as you will. Do with it as you may. But that are some of the reasons why Airbnb continues to recommend NWA as a destination place, because of its investment opportunities. All right, that's all I had for you guys today. Again, if you are thinking about coming down to Northwest Arkansas, download my 3-day itineraries linked below. Maybe you're an adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're a sightseer, maybe you have kids. Whatever it is, there's a 3-day itinerary linked down below for you. So go ahead and download it and use it when you get down here. Also, when you do come down here, I can give you the $10 tour so I can kind of show you around the whole area. Plus, we could check out some homes for sale or for rent and see how far your dollar would go in Northwest Arkansas compared to where you're coming from. All right, guys, I'll see you next one.